3, 2, 1.
This won't hold it for long. Find Neuvillette. Tell him the defenses are about to collapse.
Then what will happen to you?
Until he arrives, we're the last line of defense. The gate. How long do you think it'll hold?
That depends on us.
Neuvillette? Why are you here?
Traveler, I need you to head to the Opera House immediately. Furina will soon be meeting with the knave there. You must protect Furina, and make sure she doesn't spend too much time alone with her. Will do.
Take it easy. Take it easy.
Look! There are a ton of Fatilian Palais Mermonia people. Are you two the traveler in Paimon? Monsieur Neuvillette has left instructions. Though I'm sure he's already explained, this should be a mostly cordial conversation.
Oh, so you two are the honored guests Miss Furina mentioned.
Of course, of course! How could they not attend a meeting such as this? I must always have—
It is my pleasure to make your acquaintance, traveler. I have heard much of your accomplishments. I am the Knave, one of the 11 Fatui Harbingers.
I've already prepared seats for you. Come.
Perhaps you two are unaware of how Miss Furina and I do things. You see, we actually recently agreed to get together for tea when we had— See this? This is a limited type of confectionery that Miss Furina simply adores. There are only 16 slices sold every day.
Traveler, what do you think of this cake?
That's good to hear. So what Child said was on the mark after all. You do share a taste in desserts with Furina and I. I wonder how he's doing nowadays. You must have heard, right? He's suddenly gone missing. I'm really worried about his safety, you know. Here's to hoping that he's an excellent swimmer.
Since we're talking about him, I feel like I should add something. His martial prowess really looked certainly pretty impressive, yeah.
Oh, so you're also familiar with his aptitude for fighting, Miss Furina. Up against ordinary people, my colleague would never be on the back foot. But alas, He just never imagined he'd run into such a person. I must express my admiration for Monsieur Neuvillette. Coming from you, that's not surprising at all.
But I thought you would be happier to hear the news.
Of course, but it's still a bit of a shame. You see, I would have been far happier had I received this news somewhat earlier, as you well know.
Well, in any case, there's no need to worry. We know for sure that child is still alive.
Oh, and just how do you know that?
Because,
And where did he go after leaving the fortress?
well,
The fortress of Meripede lies deep beneath the waves, unless he pranced right at... Ah, that is good news at least. His sister Tonya sent a letter to Fontaine not too long ago. Do you have any idea how he usually writes back to his family? Dear Tonya, your letter made me feel like we were still enjoying our time in Snezhnaya together.
All letters tend to follow the same few formats anyway, right? As long as the contents are accurate, it doesn't matter so much how it's written or how it's worded.
hold on.
I suppose this is also a sign of things to come, Miss Furina. Have we entered into the next stage of the prophecy?
My thanks to you both. I will take it from here.
Sure you don't need a hand?
Quite sure.
Wow. So, what's your secret, huh? Let me guess. Nah, who knows? Maybe it's just your sense of responsibility.
Sounds about right.
Day may come when the prophecy is fulfilled, and the waters burst forth. But it is not this day! This ancient power could easily obliterate an entire race. A tsunami of fury would unleash endless catastrophe. This sentence is too severe. Forgive me for overruling it.
All right. Seems like the problem inside has been suppressed.
Let me guess, we're safe for now.
Indeed. But only for now.
I win this bet. You owe me a present.
Very well. It was indeed just as you said.
You made a bet?
We made a bet on the size of your entourage. Cloran thought you wouldn't come down by yourself.
I figured you would have at least brought a few people along for appearance's sake. It appears I underestimated just how confidential the mission was.
Shouldn't you have gotten used to confidential missions by now? That's just how the courts operate.
So what gift must the loser give? Tea?
He already has tons of tea in his office. I'm thinking about a set of legal codices.
That wouldn't happen to be a dig at my lack of legal awareness.
Well, I'm sure His Grace doesn't consider the fortress to be outside the law.
I was under the impression the residents of a place like this would be uninterested in the legal codices.
That was obviously a joke. Anyway, you've still got some unfinished business to attend to in the overworld, correct?
No need to stay here if you have a pressing matter. We all know you can't leave Palais Marmonia for long.
Thank you. I hope everything went smoothly with the Fatui Harbinger.
I must say, we've spent long enough playing house. Miss Furina, as the Hydro Archon, I am sure you understand the exact meaning of the phenomenon we just witnessed. Or should I say, that's what I originally thought. But looking at your expression...
What are you trying to say?
At this point, I don't think there's any more need to speak as diplomatic representatives. Allow me to speak to you now as just a Fontanian. You know the prophecy by heart, and also that every part of it is being proven true. Yet, here you are relaxing, drinking tea, and eating desserts as if it's all nothing more than a few stray bugs in your garden. Do you really think that's acceptable? The prophecy's hanging above our necks like a guillotine. Every faction is looking for a way to either avert the disaster or save their own. Even the orphans of the House of the Hearth have devoted everything to saving their homeland. But you? It beggars belief just how nonchalant and carefree you have been. From the very beginning, you, the god Focalor, you have utterly failed to take action.
You're wrong. I've never ignored the prophecy, nor have I just been passing the time in self-indulgence. Retract your accusation and stop doubting the wisdom of the gods with such absurd conjectures.
I am not alone in my doubts, you know. Oh, great Hydro Archon.
I have my ways, and I've been working on them for all this time. Even if you look down upon me, you have no right to judge me! Fontaine will be saved. Even if I still cannot see the true future right now, as long as I continue on as I am, I will be able to hold my head up high!
Then I ask you, Miss Furina, just what have you been working on?
My machinations are just like the prophecy itself. They will only reveal themselves at...
I see. As a god, the proof of your labor always lies beyond prying mortal eye. Allow me to be so bold as to ask another way. Would it be possible for you to tell us the parts of your plan that are not...
An emergency response plan?
Oh, that look in your...
The emergency...
Then allow me to jog your memory. Miss Furina, what do you plan to do with the massive amounts of indemnitium that has accumulated over the years?
The Oratrice? It's just like it appears to be.
So you also have no idea. If I'm not mistaken, someone's using it to prepare for something. But unfortunately, it would seem that someone is not you, Miss Furina. I first caught wind of this when Linny tried to investigate the Oratrice in the Opera House. You see, But even if that had nothing to do with you, then what could you possibly be working on, oh great Hyde? Oh, right. I almost forgot. Udex Neuvillette is not at the tea party with us.
Yeah, yes, that's exactly right. Please keep it a secret for me.
Of course I will. Although, I must say, Miss Furina, you seem quite insecure without the Udex by your... Oh, very well. Let's stop that conversation here. There are still a few slices of cake left. Traveler, I heard that you were recently commissioned to handle a few matters on behalf of the Udex. You too, Paimon.
Thank you. Oh, Paimon soup.
If it's on my tea table.
You're welcome. I'm sure the cake also felt greatly honored to be featured at Miss Furina's table. It is getting late.
Very well, we'll end it here.
Mind seeing me off, Traveler? We could use the opportunity to discuss Child before I'm...
Paimon's coming too.
The tea party turned out to be even more difficult than I'd imagined. Why are you looking at me like that? Is something the matter? If there's nothing urgent, then I shall be retiring for now.
Go! Yeah. Go!
I'm glad that you were willing to come with me. Of course, Child was just an excuse. I have no interest in your dealings with him.
That's what Paimon thought.
You lent your aid to the children of the House of the Hearth. As their father, I would like to express my gratitude. Do I look like an irresponsible father to you? The House of the Hearth is very important to me. That was all. Formal topics should be discussed in formal settings, and informal topics in informal settings. I know you just returned from the fortress of Meripede. Relax. I have no intention of trying to get anything out of you. Linny, Lynette, and Fremine are still there, and I trust their judgment and abilities.
They've all been working very hard and have always done all they can to fight back against anyone.
You mean Ridesley. He's a tricky one to deal with. It's unfortunate that Linny's so eager to prove himself that he can't learn to rely on others, including me. By the way, and you can just consider this a bit of idle gossip, but what's your impression of Furina? You are outside of our disputes, and the freest person in all of Fontaine, able to move around most easily.
And that's everything that happened during the trial. Master Child was declared guilty and immediately transported to the Fortress of Meripede.
Didn't he say he was coming here on vacation? Does he not feel an ounce of shame for all the trouble he has caused? Forget it. He did give us an opportunity. I will be meeting someone shortly.
Do you require help with any preparations?
No need. I will take care of it myself. I need to meet with Furina, the Hydro Archon. She is at the heart of Fontaine. But what's fascinating about her is that she often seems more like a celebrity than a working Archon.
Oh? Come over here, you little critter, you! You dare to run from me? Stop right this instant!
My goal is just to discover the location of the Gnosis. But I didn't expect the chance to approach Furina to be handed to me on a silver platter. This is so easy, it's actually making me a bit suspicious. Anything left unguarded is usually just bait. But no one will blame someone for taking the bait. It's just as I guessed in the second before I struck. The Hydronosis is not currently held by the Archon. In fact, this Archon doesn't seem like a god at all. And
Who are you? And what are you trying to do? Please don't kill me! I'm begging you!
the fear in her pupils is genuine, so perhaps she's not bait after all. Either way, targeting her has lost all meaning. I left the scene with ease. Nobody came looking for me, and nobody could serve as a witness to my near assassination of Focalor. I suspect even Furina dares not mention this incident to anyone. Not long after, my informants confirmed what I had guessed. After returning to her quarters, Furina quietly cried alone. She was so scared that she could not sleep that night, nor could she even bring herself to eat her cake. There's no doubt that there's something wrong with her. I began to entertain the possibility that she is not the true Hydro Archon. Perhaps Iudex Neuvillette is actually the genuine article. I have to find the Gnosis. If the Neuvillette hypothesis...
Yes, Father.
My dear children, please speak.
News from the fortress of Meripede. Master Child has gone missing. On top of that,
Probably the handiwork of that Ridesley.
I'm afraid so.
This is a good opportunity. The value of a harbinger is much higher than most would imagine. We now have an excuse to exert diplomatic pressure on the Fontaine authorities. Set up a meeting for me. Oh, and I have an additional mission for you three.
Yes, Father.
Tartaglia's disappearance was not a part of my plan, but I can use it to make a breakthrough. With this, the initiative belongs to the House of the Hearth. My wish to investigate the fortress of Meripede will be... You should know the rest. Lenny's group is quite close to you, so they wouldn't have hidden anything from you.
You attacked...
It wouldn't mean anything, even if you shouted it from the rooftops. After all, I've now had 2 chances to enjoy tea with Furina. I have to say, the leadership of Fontaine is even more inscrutable than I had imagined. I once surmised that I am a servant of Her Majesty the Tsaritsa. Over my years of service, I've learned how a real Archon conducts and carries themselves. Whether Iudex Neuvillette or Furina, neither fits the bill. Of course, that is all just how I feel. It is, however, quite amusing to me that after all my years working in intelligence gathering, I've come to realize I am at a complete loss regarding the identity of the god of the land of my birth. Don't you think Fontaine is quite intriguing? A catastrophe looms, yet many secrets have yet to rise to the surface. Ultimately, though, one must survive in order to do anything else. You don't need to commit to anything right now, of course. I have a feeling that the situation will continue to evolve, and as your name is often connected with noble deeds, I'm sure we will work together someday. He certainly returned quickly.
Neuvillette, is it over?
For now, yes. But this issue will prove quite thorny in the long term. I'm concerned that soon... Thank you for protecting Furina. To put it simply, I used my power to force back the primordial sea and reseal the sluice gate. So as expected, the knave has turned up the permission granted.
Whoa. It can't... You can't tell us? Then...
If by the phrase, you guys, you are referring to Furina and I, then although I'm not sure just what you are trying to imply, I must clarify that I do not share her positions on a multitude of topics. I believe so. The fortress has a long and complex history. It has seen much grief and suffering. And now, another catastrophe will soon be upon us. I mourn this turn of events.
Huh? Why is it raining all of a sudden?
You may be closer to the truth than you think.
Oh? And what are you thinking? The dragon of... what? Huh?
Please do not be so surprised. Furina?
Neverland?
My apologies.
We were just guessing randomly. We didn't guess right, did we?
You guessed correctly. I sincerely hope you'll be able to keep this a secret for me.
Right, of course. We'll definitely help you keep it a secret. There's still something Paimon wants to ask you, though.
Please, go ahead.
Well, if you are the dragon then since Fontaine's prophecy is off...
None of the currently living dragon sovereigns in the world, myself included. They say that when the first usurper arrived on Tivat, they seized a part of the dragon's power. Today, that stolen power is the basis of the Archon's authorities.
There are 7 elemental Archon.
The dragon sovereign of water who lived through that era perished a long time ago. As their successor, I know... In any case, I believe I will not be able to do much unless the Archon disappears and returns their elemental authority to me. Given the status quo, however, I would recommend finding another way to deal with the prophecy.
Oh, so
I still have some urgent matters to attend to at my office. If you have any more questions...
Please go right ahead. There's a place that Paimon wants to go too. Traveler, why don't we pay another visit? We'll see you another time.
Take care.
This blinding sunlight is such a pain. No way I can get a nap in this.
You guys are back?
You guys didn't get caught and thrown...
And here I thought you'd managed to escape from jail during all the commotion. I'd held you up as legend.
All right, there's no need to get caught.
Hey, it wasn't just me.
I was also transferred to work in the kitchen. Whenever he'd say that, I'd tell him I'm sure they're fine.
Hey, there's nothing.
These two. They sure are a lot warmer and friendlier.
Oh, well, if you say so. I'll be...
Traveler, Pipe, are you still doing all right? We're fine, But what about you guys? A few people sustained superficial injuries, but that's about the extent of the damage. Of course, How did Nervalet... I'm sure Nervalet has strong resonance with the hydro element. When the water level I ran into the bombshell bros while bandaging the injuries of the wounded. If you're not too pressed, just let me know if you get a crave. I'd like to take the opportunity to spend some more time observing your facial muscles as well.
Courier? That's no excuse for... Huh?
Courier! Lurvine! We're back!
Hello there. It's been quite the mess here recently.
And you? Are you still taking the seat?
Yep.
It can be a bit annoying when there are lots of people in the
I mean, the infirmary does make...
Oh, yeah?
You two really are just using your jobs as a cover for your relationship.
Not at all!
Take it easy. Take it easy.
Now guess, what suit will this next card be?
Well, well, look who it is.
Traveler.
Hello, everyone.
Looks like you're recovering nicely.
Oh, right.
Whoa, how did she react?
She told me that it was nothing.
She didn't want to stress you out, that's all.
Yeah.
Okay, but check this out.
You meant father? Did she say anything to you?
She said a few things that were, a bit hard to understand. And
Her attitude towards you is even better than what we'd imagined. That's fantastic. You should believe her. She has her own way of doing things, and she'll do everything in her power to help those she considers close, which...
Father is very capable, and also trustworthy.
oh, Paimon just remembered that she thought Lenny was a bit too proud as well. She said that you should learn how to rely on others sometimes.
Got it.
That does sound like something that father would say.
Hey!
Are you going to stay here for the next few days?
Looks like it, yeah.
Excellent. I will host a tea party.
For real? Then Paimon...
Another implies that you were already served some delicious cake while you were up there. How lovely. Well, next time, you're going to have tea and snacks with us.
Take it easy.
We should start preparing that tea party.
Oh, that's a great idea. I'm all for it.
I'll help you set it up.